Hey everybody, it's Jess.
This is Brad.
We are doing our Bullet Points podcast, frequently asked questions. So it's kind of a year-end wrap-up. Everyone comes in and says, what's the best gun? What do you like? What do you guys shoot? You know, what do I need to buy? All this stuff. So those are really hard questions for us because we don't know your individual situation. But we kind of compiled a list of guns that we like, that we shoot, that we sell a lot of. And hopefully this will be informational for people to kind of go through. So we'll just kind of run down them and hey, you know, hopefully you guys get some information out of the deal. So on pistols, Brad, what do we like on pistols? What are we seeing?
So this is just kind of a broad overview of a few pistols that we really like that seem to fit the majority of people's hands and give good sight pictures for people. Number one was the Sig 320X Compact.
Awesome.
It's the 15 round version. The X series comes with your flat trigger and is milled for an RMR or a RMR reflex sight, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it's been a really good seller. A lot of people like it. A lot of features, a lot of bang for your buck there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up would be the Walther PDP.
Good gun.
And it's kind of came in towards the end of the year. So it was the first gun that was really built around the red dot sight.
Yep.
The whole slide and everything is built around mounting that sight so that you get your best sight picture when you press out. That dot is right there.
Nice.
Everyone's given that really good reviews.
Yep.
And last but not least, because this came in really late in the year, was the Canik Mete. And it's by far Canik's best trigger going.
Yeah,
the trigger sells that gun. It comes in two different versions. A longer version is the SFX, and then there's the FXT, which is a little bit shorter. But those are the three guns this year that have really stood out to us.
Oh yeah, pistol definitely. 320X Compact, awesome gun. If you're looking for a comparison pistol, basically like a Glock, your Glock 19 size, but out features it by far. That PDP Walther, solid optics ready platform, like you said, really built around it. And you know, coming in late in the year, we've done a review on it if you look at some of our other podcasts and that. But the Meta, really awesome gun. If you've picked up or held a Canik, great gun. But the fire control, the FCU, that trigger, awesome trigger, clean break, reset everything, and again, optics ready platforms, different things. And Canik gives you a lot of bang for your buck. They put a lot with their guns.
Yeah, there's a Kydex holster and they're outside the waistband. There's a lot of little cleaning kit, the whole thing. I mean, you get a lot for your money there.
Yeah, definitely a lot for your money on those.
And then, so from there, we move on to revolvers.
So revolvers, still, a lot of people think revolvers are an old man's game, but revolvers are still going strong. We haven't seen a lot of them this year with a lot of different manufacturers changing their production and stuff, but revolvers are here to stay. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And one revolver that we see time and time again, absolute classic, Smith & Wesson 686 357. Awesome gun. You know, you get a 4-inch or a 6-inch one of those. If you're going to do some target shooting, if you know, defensive weapon also, people will rule them out because it's a revolver and you only get 6 shots, but trust me, it's going to do what it's supposed to. And then another one, which I hold actually right there next to it, it's a Ruger GP100. You get a lot for your money on those. They're really good guns. They're built like tanks. They shoot really well. They're not problematic. I mean, revolvers are kind of an A-B. They either work or they don't. There's not a whole lot you're going to fix in a gunfight with your revolver, but those two definitely. You've got your 686s and your GP100s for your full size. Guys are still trying to carry with something. 442 or 642, your little 38 snub noses are definitely here to stay. And you get good value on them. I know ammo right now is a little bit tough on your 38 357s, but trust me, that stuff will come back around and they'll definitely be back in the ball game. But I think another thing that we're known for, we sell a lot of, subgun semi-automatic pistol.
That has by far been a huge seller for us this year, and leading the way has been the Grand Power Stribog.
Yes.
And both the SP9A1 and SP9A3 variants. They are priced to really dominate the market there,
absolutely.
because it is hard pressed to find a better value in a subgun than those right out of the box.
Yep.
Mags are extra magazines are extremely affordable.
Mm-hmm.
You get the next on the list we have is the Sig MPXK, but their mags from Sig they're expensive factory mags. The Stribog, going back to that, is about a third of what one of those mags costs. It really helps sell it because you can always add extra 30-round mags or 20-round mags and not break the bank.
Definitely.
What we really like about the Sig MPXK is everyone that comes in here is also known for ARs.
Yeah.
Same ergonomics as an AR. It operates, everything is in the exact same spot as there is in an AR. So if you're used to shooting those, you pick this up, everything's right where you're used to it being. It is the only piston gun out of this group. So it's a short piston. So it really shoots very, very smooth. It can handle all types of ammo. You can adjust the piston on it if you're shooting like subsonics that are really underpowered to help it operate, but really there's not much that it won't eat, which is a huge huge thing in this category. Is you don't want to have to be ammo specific if you don't have to, because depending on where you go buy it, it makes a huge deal because you're not knowing what they might or might not have. Last but not least, if you got a little bit of coin to throw around and you want to roll around with a Ferrari, the B&T APC 9 is about as smooth a shooting sub gun as you're ever going to find. You'll see it in a lot of high-end movies, your John Wicks and all that type of stuff. But they're going to set you back a pretty penny. But those are just kind of a quick rundown of some sub guns. Definitely check out your Stribogs.
Yes.
And if you got the one that fits kind of in between those is a Sig MPXK. That's a personal favorite of mine as well. Just because I'm used to shooting the ARs and everything's right there, and I don't have to relearn anything.
No.
And then that leads us into the next category that we have on our list, which is bolt action rifles.
Bolt action rifle.
Not super sexy all the time, but
We can be sexy.
it can be.
It can be sexy, and actually, the sexiest one in there is probably the one that we this year we're waiting for earlier in the year. It came out. We've got a lot of positive feedback on it. Great gun. It's a Sig Cross rifle. They're offered right now in 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor. Side folding, lightweight. So a lot of people are taking a bolt action rifle and they're throwing it in a chassis. So you got your Remington 700 or something. This gun, the action is the chassis. Okay, it's lightweight. It is very ergonomic. Optics ready, set up for the, it's got the rail on it. You're gonna put your optics on it. You're gonna suppress it, do what you're gonna do with it, and take it out in the field, and it's gonna work. Great gun. The price point on it is right in the dead center of everybody else out there. It's not your cheap, inexpensive one. It's not your most expensive one, but the features that you're getting with this gun definitely surpass the price point. Another neat thing with this and bolt action rifle, Bergara. So Bergara in their B-14 series, they also have the full-size guns. So we're talking about like 300 Win Mag, 6.5 Creedmoor, 308.
Right.
Your standard calibers with your full-size gun. This year, they came out with the B-14 Mini, which is a rimfire. So you've got your rimfire gun if you want to use it as a trainer, or if you want to use it to bring up some, to get some kids into the shooting sports. They've got the same style, same looking gun that you do in your full-size B-14 in the Mini. These guns are lights out. Bolts work great, nice mag feed, incredibly accurate. What Bergara is known for is their barrels and actions.
Yeah.
They definitely stepped up and they hit it out of the park with this rimfire. Definitely those guns, great guns. Now we do still sell the Savage. We still sell Remington 700s where you can get them.
Yeah.
Nothing to shade on those,
Which
but I
the
think
Bergara takes
Well, yeah.
the accessories, which is another great feature of the Bergaras, is that they are the 700 footprint.
Yep.
So
if you didn't like your stock or something and you wanted to switch it into like a 700 style chassis, absolutely would fit. Everybody says bolt action rifles are great, but I like ARs. Well, so do I, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So, AR platform, I'm just going to say this. If you're looking for an AR platform, come see us. We're going to put you in the AR that's going to be right for you, okay? And that's what we're known for. Yes, every company out there has got an AR. To pick one out, it's almost like picking out a cookie cutter piece. If you like that, no problem. If you're looking for an AR that's going to fit you, it's going to work for you, it's going to do what you want to do, come on in, we'll sit down, have a conversation with you, and get you that gun. Because that's really, that's part of our bread and butter. Suppressors, ARs, AR platform stuff. But a lot of people don't know this, but we sell shotguns.
We do.
I mean, and a lot of them, apparently people, you go sell shotguns. Yeah, we do that. So shotguns, Brad, where are we at on shotguns right now?
So this year, my favorite shotgun that came out was the updated version of the Beretta A300. This year, it came same price point as last year, but they added their recoil reduction system that they carry in their stocks, and their much more expensive guns that are twice as expensive as this is also available now on this A300. It's also got an oversized charging handle, oversized bolt release pad.
To it, yep.
So very easy especially if you're hunting and got gloves on, real easy to grab. You're not searching with, especially if you've got a bunch of extra padding around your fingers, which is really nice. The other gun that's been very, very popular this year is the Beretta 1301 Tactical. They kind of updated that a little bit as well. We've seen a lot of people purchasing those. It gives them that kind of tactical look, but with that smooth Beretta action, that everyone knows and loves. And then last but not least, we've sold quite a bit of this brand that probably a lot of people haven't heard of. It's called an Impala. And basically, they took a Benelli patent that ran out, and then they kind of updated it and modernized it a little bit, and have put out some really affordable shotguns for your hunters out there, especially. A lot of different patterns that are very affordable, and have gotten rave reviews on holding up. And that's what we hear a lot about with some of these guns that come over from overseas, is that the metal's not great and they didn't harden it correctly. And the durability factor. These have not gotten that sort of rep.
These are definitely durable.
And so it really has opened that high-end look to customers that maybe only go hunting once a year, twice a year tops, and don't want to spend $2,000 on a mossy oak shotgun. They want something else, and this allows them to get into that, to look like their buddy that goes hunting every weekend, but still look the part.
Yeah, definitely a value-oriented shotgun.
Right.
But even with the value you're getting a ton of not accessories, but you're getting a ton of options on that gun.
Right.
Really works great. Awesome gun.
And then we're gonna move on from there to kind of what we're known for, which is suppressors and the NFA game. So let's kind of go over our top kind of suppressors that we saw this year.
So suppressors, it's kind of no secret, we're big rugged fans. We sell a ton of rugged suppressors. I would say the rugged Obsidian 9 and the Razor, which you're telling me too, the Radiant was right behind the Razor. I mean, within single digits of what we sold this year.
Within five. Within 5.
So your 9mm, great pistol can, great subgun can. The Razor 762, so your high pressure rifle can. Radiant the same way. Radiant's titanium and a hybrided can, so it's a little bit lighter weight. But awesome cans. I would say getting away from what everybody knows, rugged's out there. One you may not have heard of, AB Raptor, the 762 with the reflex mount. These are incredibly awesome cans, mainly for like a bolt action rifle. I know you've got your
my pork sword,
the 300 Blackout's about this long. But bolt action, that is incredibly quiet. Doesn't change point of aim, point of impact. The reflex basically goes over the barrel, so it gives you an enlarged blast chamber, which really will help on that to kind of get that initial blast down. But great can, something to definitely look at. Maybe you haven't seen if you're in that bolt action game and you're looking for. Another one that kind of gets overlooked too, because we do a ton of rimfire suppression. The rugged Oculus obviously is a leading can, awesome can. Another one to look at though is an OSS Rad 22. I know you're running it and you absolutely love it.
I'm a big fan with the design of it. The one thing that's inherently that you have to deal with shooting rimfire is the dirt and grit that's in your cans, and you have to clean them a lot in order to maintain them and not so they don't end up basically welded shut. The way that the OSS Rad is designed, it really helps to eliminate the point of contacts between the baffles and the outer tube, so they're easy to get in and out. Even if you say forgot to kind of clean it a little bit after you shot it, should be able to still come back and kind of get those baffles out relatively easy as compared to some of the other designs where the baffles are pressed right up against the tube.
They basically carbon lock. You've got a solid can after that.
And so that's why the sounds great. The report you hear back, I can't tell any difference from any other can, but when it comes down to the cleaning aspect of it, it really makes life a whole lot easier.
That's a large
cleaning.
Exactly. That's a large part of suppressor ownership. I mean, it's great when you're shooting it and you're having fun, but then the maintenance on the backside of that, if it makes it easier for you, you're going to shoot it more because you're not sitting there cleaning as much. So great overview on suppressors. Definitely come by and talk to us. We love talking cans and suppression with people. Another thing that we do a lot of, which we're getting a lot more a lot more traction, a lot more questions, a lot more people coming in are optics.
Right.
So where are we at on optics right now?
So when it gets into optics, we have a couple of different categories, like your red dots that you're going to mount on your handgun. The number one we saw this year that really took off was the Holosun 509T.
Absolutely.
It's basically got the same mount as the Acro from Aimpoint. And originally there was all these different ways to mount it to the gun that were not necessarily, because it's a different slide or a different cut underneath. But now all the manufacturers have seen how well it's taken off and are coming out with the plates that go right on there, so you can just put that right on your gun. It's a sealed optic. So it's not open, so all the dust and debris, if you're shooting out on a windy day out at the farm, you don't have to worry about anything getting in and messing up your diode in there. So it's been and it is solar as well. So really, really good optic, and it's really taking off. Probably the future of the way things are going to go with that seal to protect it from the weather and everything else. Then you move into like what we sell the most of, which is the Sig Romeo 5 series. It's a tube style optic. And it's just robust. It works on everything from ARs to 12 gauge shotguns to 45-70 lever guns. We put it on just about everything, and it just flat out works. There's nothing inherently awesome about it. It just works. I mean, it's just something when you spend the money, it's going to work. And if it doesn't, Sig takes care of you on that.
It's a Sig product.
Yeah.
Sig warranty. All of these ones that we're talking about, they have MOTAC. If you haven't heard about it, we'll come in. We'll have a conversation, because when you set it down, it turns itself off. Okay.
Right.
When you pick it up, it turns itself back on. You can change the intensity of the dot, but they're not gonna blow you out of the world. They're not gonna do something you haven't seen before, but they're doing it really well at an excellent price point.
Yes.
And that really, really shines for them.
And then something that's just recently really come out is in the last couple of weeks. Is the Sig Tango MSR series, which is your which is like a 1-to-6 style scope, at a very, very solid price point, at least in the entry level. They will also be doing a 1-to-8 and a 1-to-10, as I've been told. I'm not sure on the prices on those yet, but the 1-to-6 is priced it includes the mount, at least in the initial offering. And it's very similar in look and feel to the one that won the Army's Marksman. Same Tango name brand. Obviously not the same robust features as the Tango 6, as it's about 5 times as expensive. But it still has got the same look, gives you the nice glass, nice reticle picture in there for all your BDCs that you might want to take advantage of.
So for your AR or other ones, but you've got that 1-to-6, so you got that variable power. So if you don't necessarily just want a red dot, you kick it over to 1, you still have both eyes open, you can still use it, but you have 6 times magnification on that. So if you want to take a controlled shot that's a little bit longer, you've got that variable power, but you're really not going that much further up the scale in price, but you're getting a lot more optic for that value.
Yeah, and one thing I've actually just been reading about is a lot of people are now using it, at least in our area, for deer hunting, because most of the time their shots are within 50 yards, and they don't have to have, if the deer is within 20 yards, you have 1 power. So it's parallax free. It's just like you're looking at it, and you don't have to worry about having a scope and kind of over magnifying and being hard to find the target. And last but not least, if we're going to throw in some technology into all this stuff, you got to talk about the Sig BDX.
BDX, absolutely.
They came out with a whole new list of rangefinders this year. They've got that pair Bluetooth with the scope, so if you know your bullet, your ammunition's data points, you put those in there, you laze the target, and boom, it drops down and shows you your holdover.
Yeah, absolutely. That BDX, which is Ballistic Data Exchange. You've got your rangefinder. If you really step up your game, you're running the binoculars. But they talk. So they Bluetooth talk. So once you've got your ballistic set up in there, you've got your download with your round, what you're putting out there. If you're in the field, do I need Wi-Fi to have my phone? Is everything?
No.
I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. And the best part about it is if you have one rangefinder, you can have 1,000 scopes. You just pair the rangefinder to that particular scope you're using, so you don't need to buy a rangefinder every time. They're independent of each other, and you just pair it to that particular optic, and that way you're only buying scopes once you've put the initial investment into the rangefinder, you're only buying scopes.
Yeah, and so SIG's platform, their quality, their glass, their warranty. That's the other thing. SIG stands behind their products. Everything we talked about, I know we do a lot of SIG stuff. A, we don't ever sell a headache. We don't want to get behind a product that we know is going to be problematic. B, we know SIG is going to stand behind their product. They put out a quality product, and it's something that we like to sell because we want to sell you a good quality product. We want you to be happy with what you're purchasing and what you're getting into. And I will tell you kind of a weird thing kind of came on late in the year when they finally, we knew they were coming. Accessory innovation, if you will, kind of with the BDX being the innovation on the scopes. Accessory innovation. So Shield Arms, the S15 magazine. So the Glock 43X, single stack Glock, kind of pigeonholed it kind of low because people want these high cap mags. They're high capacity, 15 round magazines
in the same footprint as the 10.
Same footprint as a 10. You do have to buy their mag release also because they're the Glock mag release being polymer. These mags and the metal aspect of it will actually chew up that. But you replace the mag release, you replace the mags with these Shield Arms, and now your 43X and your 48, if you would, they are really kind of jumping back up to where we see another thing which we kind of skipped over a little bit. Concealed carry pistol. Everyone's wanting to conceal carry. Everyone's wanting to have their firearm on their person. What's the best gun for that? That has a lot to do with the individual. Where you're wanting to carry and everything. What we by far sell the most of, probably 10, 12 to 1, on the ratio, SIG P365. Now, 3 variants?
At least 3 variants. if you count the Romeos, then it just seems like there's just a bunch of different ones. But basically, you have your standard 365, 10 round mag. You have your 365X, which is a 12 round flush fit mag with the same slide profile as the original SIG. 365. And then you have the 365 XL, which is 12 round flush fit, barrel's a ½ inch longer. So those are the 3 main ones. You can get them with Romeo zeros or without. But that's
on the X and the XL, we can do the Romeo Zero, so you can have your red dot if you'd like. But as far as a concealed carry pistol, obviously what works for you, what you're comfortable carrying, and what you're going to train with carrying. But if you're asking us what we like, what we carry, what we own, we're SIG guys. We're carrying them 365s. Hopefully this helped everybody. Hopefully this was informative. You got a little bit of information out of it. But people who come in the shop ask us what we're thinking, what we're looking at, what we're selling, what other people are buying, what we're fielding questions on, and what we shoot. That's pretty much it. So we appreciate you watching Bullet Points Podcast, Razorback Armory. I'm Jess.
I'm Brad.
So you guys have a great time, and we appreciate you watching.